would you have really understood?
Which part? The endless, numbing sameness of it all? Or never bothering to love someone? Because whole lifetimes tick by so fast they don't even count anymore.
Then why did you come?
To see if I could feel again.
I've never known anyone with such a capacity for hate except me. Welcome to Highlander Rewatch, the podcast where each and every week we talk about another facet of the Highlander universe. I'm one of your rewatchers. I'm Keith.
This is Kyle.
This is Eamon.
And Eamon, that line was originally written about you.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. Is the noted volcano of hate that is Eamon.
I'm just a rageful monster.
It's true.
Well, welcome everybody back to our Endgame coverage. We are now in episode 7 of our continuing Endgame coverage. This is remarkable. This is now longer than our movie podcast, the original motion pictures. So how about that?
Only
That's
if you count the
crazy.
trailer, though. We're not quite longer yet.
All right. That was still, we got in depth with that trailer, man.
We did.
We did.
Let's not sell ourselves short. I don't know. So welcome to the show. If you haven't checked out our other Endgame episodes, make sure to head back and check out the other ones before listening to this. And if you dig what you're hearing here for Highlander Endgame, check out our podcast where we cover the whole series and all the movies, and there's interviews with the cast and the crew of the films and TV show. It's pretty great. So, but before we jump into episode 7, Eamon, can you do some reader mail for us?
That's right. So we have some Highlander Endgame reader mail from Josie G. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, or maybe it's Jossie. I'm not sure.
All right.
Hi, guys.
It's pronounced Joikey.
Joikey. Joikey G. Hi, guys. I just wanted you to know that you are not alone in regards to your feelings on Endgame. Upon first seeing the movie, I found it cringeworthy and frustratingly inconsistent with the storylines of the TV show. They had 6 years to fall back on. Why create this? And there's like 70 exclamation points and question marks. That being said, I still enjoyed Endgame because, well, it's Highlander. Upon seeing the source, I found myself looking back upon Endgame with such fondness that it became okay in comparison. That being said, I love the Highlander franchise and love listening to this podcast. Thank you. I await your rewatch of The Source with bated breath. The three of you are a joy to listen to, even when you're not talking Highlander. That is
Hey.
That's frequent.
And then there's a postscript. This is my hot take on the movies of the franchise. The first Highlander movie and 5.5 seasons of the show were so good that I just kept coming back for more in the hopes that it would regain that level of quality. I feel like it's a bad relationship that I keep coming back to.
Oh,
even
no.
though I should know better. Maybe this time it will be different.
Aw.
This is the only aspect in my life that I do this with, thank God. But I know I will come back every time. Do what you want with the postscript. Oh, I just read it. You guys are the best.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great,
Josie,
awesome.
Josie. That was a nice email. Very nice.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
Definitely.
Just going off of that, I mean, you know, I watched this movie digitally a few times, but I did buy the 2-disc DVD.
Look at
off
that.
of Amazon. And then I bought a Highlander 2 DVD, and it turned out to be a bootleg.
Yeah.
And it's from Gary's Trading Post. I don't know if you can see that.
Very good.
Wow.
Gary's
Interesting.
Trading Company, operated by Lucky Flash Investments Limited.
So how's the movie quality on it? Have you looked at it?
I didn't check out the disc yet.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'll update
It's
you
just
guys.
porn.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Even
It's just-
steamier scenes.
It's just the scene. Yeah. Oh, and on the Highlander 2 DVD, or on the Highlander Endgame DVD, it says more action, more steamy scenes, all new ending.
All
Oh,
new
boy.
ending.
Oh boy.
More steamy scenes.
Man.
I like that.
Great. It's great. All right. So Before we get into our review, we're going to play the catalog game. So in this game, Kyle and Eamon are going to go head to head and try to guess the actual retail price of an item from the Highlander catalog after I read a description and show them a picture of the item. If they guess within 20% or more, higher or lower, they win and they gain my respect for the rest of the episode and they get to give their opinion first. Isn't that wonderful? Are you guys ready to play?
We are ready.
Let's do it.
Okay. So again, I'm reading out of the 1996 catalog. This is an early Highlander catalog. And here we go. This is going to be item 116. Check out that bad boy.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
I know it's not the best picture, but it's a small photograph in the magazine here. In the magazine.
But the gecko is inside it, right?
Yes, that's right. It's hidden in there. And I like that the bandana is tied around it. Highlander the cloth. Look at that.
I went to the cloth.
That's right. Okay, here we go. The description reads, tote bags have appeared in one form or another since the dawn of reason.
Dawn of reason?
Yeah, reason.
Only reason. Interesting.
Yeah, they didn't have a need to carry things before that. There was no need. Fill our contemporary Highlander version made of durable black canvas with anything you need to get from time to time.
What?
From time to time. Wow, that's weird. What an
Yeah.
awkward way of expressing that bags have been around.
Right. There you go.
You
Highlander
need to
tote,
get
right?
From time to time.
Yeah.
Our famous watch is now emblazoned on a tote bag, right?
Yep. Oh, boy.
All right, Kyle, I
So-
think you guessed first last time. Eamon, talk to me. What do you got?
I just want to say something about this.
Sure.
So this design was on the wristwatch that we talked about recently.
Mhm.
Yes. And a
The-
t-shirt and a bunch of
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah.
So this wristwatch design or whatever, this sword design actually has 12 swords on it, unlike the watch.
Mm.
So on the
We were
watch,
missing one.
they replaced one of the swords with the word Highlander.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's a
huh?
good catch.
Interesting.
Why? This is insane to me.
Well, I guess maybe they thought that the needles, are you call them needles? What do you call them on a watch? The watch hands.
Hands?
They're all
Hands.
hands.
The
The
hands.
You mean
needles.
in my family, we call them the needles.
The needles.
What?
right.
Yeah, is it because like they attach to the center of the graphic so they'd cover up Highlander?
Maybe.
And they want to make sure that like you got to see Highlander, baby. That's the money. That's what you're paying. for.
Yeah, that's where the
Interesting.
I don't know, huh? I mean, it's a fun design. I wish it was a little bigger on this tote, right? It seems a little small.
it seems very small.
All right, Eamon. Well, why don't you take a guess what you think the carrier is called? It's not called a tote. It's called the carrier.
The
The
carrier
cloth,
Carrier.
the carrier.
and the barrier. $9.99.
$9.99. All right. Eamon is not out of his mind. Kyle.
I'm gonna see the cloth has really thrown me off, but I'm gonna say $14.99 on this one. The
whoa.
cloth was so cheap though that maybe we're barking up the wrong tree.
The
Kyle.
Mm,
Congratulations. Actual retail price is $15.
wow.
Wow.
You were right on the money.
Yeah.
I do what I can.
So this would
So
cost
hard
$25
for it,
today.
honey. $25 for a thing that is given away if you like. Basically, if you call any business on the phone, they
You
will
can-
send you a tote bag.
Yes.
Very good.
Sounds about right.
And this was $15.
$15.
Is
But
there
again,
any
That's
item
not so
that
bad
is-
with other Highlander stuff. It's no
That's
chess
true. It's no
Yeah.
chess set. Could
set. Carry
you
your
carry the
$800 chess
Yeah,
set in there, right?
in the tote bag.
Yep.
Bludgeon somebody to death with it.
God. Sorry. Very good. Okay, so since we're about to hop into episode 7, why don't we do a quick recap of everything that has happened thus far? Hit me with it.
Hot dog in New York. Dunker and Connor. Dunker?
Dunker. Yeah, Dunker and Connor. Rachel explodes. Connor runs away, becomes imprisoned in an X-Men chamber, has fever dreams about his dead mom. Jacob Kell maybe participated in burning her a little bit, kind of, sort of. Duncan kills him. Cut to the present. Kell kills everybody in the sanctuary. Somebody take it over. Bad watchers are not cops. They're watchers.
Right. Duncan flies to New York, meets up with what? I don't know. He finds Connor's grave. We learn how he met his girlfriend / ex-wife, Kate.
Slash
'Cause he
Flex
paid-
WWE superstar Edge.
right?
Edge.
Because he paid some a bridge toll or whatever for her.
Troll toll.
Troll toll. What else happened?
Connor teaches Duncan a secret move.
Right? In Italy, that's
Mhm.
unstoppable.
Yeah.
Connor is revealed to be alive. Jacob Kell didn't kill him.
Right? And Duncan gets beat up by like the gang, the Kell gang.
Mhm.
And then gets like kidnapped by rogue watchers and forced into sanctuary, right? That's a good.
Yeah.
Forced into sanctuary.
Oh, and then we get the Highlander Ball Z stats, right? And
Mhm.
so
Yes.
we know that Kell has like 600 and some kills, and Duncan and Connor don't have nearly that many, right? So they're
they
weak
don't even
sauce.
have half.
That's right.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this was our worst recap yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we got the job done. I think
Sure.
we covered everything.
Okay. Well, this episode is going to feature, I guess, Lisa B a bit more. And as we mentioned in our
Ooh.
very first episode or second episode, that she was also a pop star in the early 90s. So we played some of her music the first go around, but we haven't played her music in a little bit. So I thought it'd be good to share another one of her music videos real quick, since we're going to be seeing a bit more of her in this episode. All right, here we go. Lisa B. And this song, I forget what the name of the song is called, You and Me or something like that. Here we go.
You and B.
What is happening? What is this?
Ding.
What?
Wow.
It's crazy.
Is this supposed to be like Sound of Music? What is she wearing?
Oh my god. So this is like a very like Madonna,
Uh-huh,
like,
very.
like a prayer thing.
Yep. What an intro, right?
Like
I never wanna cause you any pain. I don't need to look beyond the view. Will you run to me? Will you run to me? I
Kyle's
belong
just
to you
down.
night and day. No one but you can make me feel the way I do. My songs make it, can't you see?
Kyle,
Will
no.
you run to
All right.
me? Will you run
Now I'll skip ahead a little bit. Is there any-
you can make me feel the way I do. My songs make it, can't you see?
Is this just a Christian pop song?
is she singing about Jesus?
That's the question I'm positing, having seen.
Ballet.
All right, great.
Wow. What a
The
star.
Lisa B- yeah, I think that song's called You and Me. Yes, or yes, or yeah, I think it's You and Me. Sorry, guys. There it
You
is.
and Me.
Lisa B starting the
Lisa
episode
B.
off with some chart
She's great.
topping tunes. I don't know.
What a talent.
What a talent. All right. Ready to hop into this?
Yeah, let's do it.
We start with a flashback. So after the cemetery where Connor gets schooled by Kell, we get a flashback. There's no title card on this flashback for some reason, right?
Not that I have written down.
Yeah, which is I don't know. I guess that doesn't matter too much. But it's sometime after 1712 because that's when he met Kate in her carriage.
Yes.
And so we're in some sort of like inn, right? A pub or whatever. And this is a wedding, right? Everyone's
Oh.
dancing.
And there's some drunk guy named Dave.
Dave is there. Fucking
Dave.
Max, like college roommate Dave is there.
Look at Dave. Behave yourself, Duncan. I don't
Dave.
I don't get this. I don't get this.
I don't
Dave
get
thing.
this.
Is
Look at
it
all the friends.
gettable?
They have so many friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Well, so there's this line. So there's this like poem that said, like, what is it? May all your hardships fade away. The night becomes morn. Let love remain to guide your way. And then they finish it and say, till the day we are reborn. I was trying to find, I Googled that phrase. It's like, oh, is
Mhm.
this like a poem? Like that I could not find any reference to this anywhere. So,
Hmm.
but what do you guys think of this? Like, this seems thematic in some way, right? This till the day we are reborn thing. And I'm like, what's that about? guess what? It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I don't think that the Highlander universe posits any kind of reincarnation, unless you're reincarnated and the person who ate you.
Well, Highlander 3 kind of messed around with that. Like they had the same actress play the two love interests, which I didn't mind too much. And I suppose, you know, I could see in some version of a Highlander movie that sort of thing, like love carries through time, right? Or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Or
but here it is.
You're reborn as your immortal self. There's the old you.
Oh.
And the new you when you are
interesting.
Immortal. I am immortal.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good way to read this, actually, is that the rebirth is about her mortal death, right? Huh.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
I think it's the only thing you can graft onto this that makes much sense.
Wow.
And then Connor comes in.
He does.
And he's like, hey, it's me.
Right. Life of the
it's
party.
Your pal Connor, here to rain on your parade.
So, like, I have a weird question about this. So is this like a wedding at like, or no, Duncan's immortal already, so never mind. So this isn't like a McLeod wedding. Like,
no, not really.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, okay. Like I was thinking for a second, like Connor's like, I'm back. Hey.
So they're speaking on this dock, and I guess again, this scene kind of mirrors the market scene in the original Highlander, where Ramirez is like, yo, bro, like, you know,
you must leave her, brother.
Right.
That's 1,000% what this is.
And so Connor's like, look, man, like, I know what it's like to like love a mortal person, and like it's gonna be really rough, and maybe just don't do this, right? And then we get this
have
flashback.
your fun and move on.
Should we like talk about this like flashback at all? Let me see here. So I have it with Heather like cutting her. Tell us about what we see here.
This is so strange. He's like, Heather, me being aging was like very hard for Heather. And one day I came home and she was cutting her hair.
Yeah.
Which was like, huh? And then she gave it to me because she's like, this is something that won't age. So like, here you go.
Right.
It's very bizarre. And there's this kind of like upsetting image of her like crying and cutting her hair. And it's like, what?
But isn't it like
this is
bloody?
very upsetting. Here we go. We'll watch this little part.
I found Heather in front of the house. She had a knife in one hand and her hair in the other. When I asked her why she had done such a thing to herself, she said it was the one part of her that would never age.
Like, why did she cut her head?
Right, like
that's my main question.
Like it's insane.
Like
you can just cut your hair off and it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, like it's notably painless.
It's you guys don't get like horribly cut every time you get your hair cut.
I had to go to a new person.
Oh, okay, that's good.
That's why my shirt's red. This is my haircut.
You recently
shirt.
got a haircut?
Yeah, it just soaks in. That's like a creepy, and she's like huddled on like the steps. It like looks like
she's like, having a breakdown.
Yeah.
I have a question. So at this point, it's revealed that like Connor is like, oh, she's got like the seeds of immortality. Like he's felt it, and this is the first time I think Duncan's like coming to terms with it. Like, oh, I felt that too. I wasn't sure what it meant, but like I know now. But like, I have a question. What do you think Connor's even trying to tell Duncan? Like, he's like, I've watched a woman die before. And then it's like, so are you saying I should leave her or kill her? Like,
I think Connor very clearly says like, you should like enjoy your moment and move on.
Oh, that's right. He says,
so Connor is explicitly saying, don't, he's not advocating for Duncan to do what he ultimately does. But I think it's fair to say that Duncan may take the wrong lesson from Connor's advice.
Okay. Interesting.
I was confused about this, and he does like say that, but then it's weird. I wish this scene was like clearer or something.
Sure. Now, do we want to talk about, have we talked about in previous episodes, the whole deal with like Connor or Duncan being married before? Did we bring that up?
We did bring up how in the episode The Darkness,
right? Okay.
Prophesized that he will never ever marry.
Right.
And Duncan seems to think he is cursed this way. And then in this episode, like, I was actually married already.
Right. Yeah. Maybe that's the technicality. That's the loophole. He was married before the curse.
Yeah.
So it doesn't count.
There you go.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe that's
dumb.
That's weird. This is weird. And I'm also like, this never came up.
So he gives
know what I mean?
Kate a necklace and it says forever on it, like a little locket or something, right? Okay, fine. To me, I'm just like, this is like a different movie. Like whatever this Kate plot is like its own thing, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
well, like they don't really set it up, but I think part of the idea is that there's supposed to be two revenge stories going on.
Right. Okay.
Right? There's like a Kate revenge story against Duncan and a Kell revenge story against Connor, and they're kind of intertwined. And I think they're trying to draw a contrast that like Connor is able to try to mend this bridge because he still is hopeful, whereas like Connor can only fight because he's like hopeless or something.
Right. I think that makes sense. Again, it's like not in the movie enough, right? It's like we do all that work. And also I never get the impression that Kate's trying to take revenge on Mac.
She did kick him through a door.
But like that to me, like, is she like, I don't feel like the motivation was that the motivation was, I guess, this. I guess it's not spelled out that way. Like, I'm like, oh, is she a goon for Kell? Like that doesn't, but no, you're right. Like it's her own, I don't know. It also muddies the water because like she wants revenge on Duncan, but Kell also wants Duncan to get revenge on Connor. Like, so in some ways it's weird because their targets are the same, right? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Like, I guess it's hard for me to separate the two goals. I don't know. Sorry, guys.
She's using Kell to like get to Duncan and vice versa. I guess
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So then the transition out of this is like a crazy set of like flyovers that are like super sped up over like the Highlands and then in New York, and the music is like bananas, right? Like it's really intense, like opera singing. And then where do we go?
We go to Faith's. Kate goes by Faith now, and we go to like her show.
Her cool fashion show.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where they're sure to get some gratuitous shots of women changing for some
they
reason.
Sure do. And I love the set dressing on this balcony.
Oh, look at those lips.
Which
The
is
lips.
like, I'm like, where did they fucking film this? Like a dark hallway, or like in front of a curtain. Like they just threw up a tree and it's like covered in like glitter and like Christmas tree decorations.
It's tinsel. It's
And
Christmas,
then,
baby.
yeah, tinsel. And then there's these like lips. I'm just like,
That's
I
so
hate it
weird.
so much.
So weird.
So
Also,
strange.
just look at Adrian Paul's expression for a moment.
Yeah. He's like a statue.
He does not look happy.
No, not at all. Very good. Okay, so yeah, we get all the shots of these women changing, which is no good. So what happens here?
Well, Mac decides it's time to try to
Bury the hatchet.
mend these old wounds.
Yeah. And we don't really know what happened yet.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's not been revealed, right?
Yeah, and this is where we get a line that you busted out, Keith, which is Duncan's like, "Why are you with Kell?" And she's like, "I've never." This is like some more Return of the Jedi shit. Like, your hate makes you powerful. You focus makes you strong. Like, she's like, "I've never known someone with a greater capacity for hate than me." And I'm just like, what? Like, why would you
nuts.
look for that in a person? You know, I'd really like to meet like the most miserable, hateful piece of shit I can meet. Like, that would be great.
But Duncan says, like, I've tried to talk to you 1,000 times.
You have?
Really?
So, like,
not that hard though.
Yeah. Like, he didn't even recognize her when he saw her. Like,
You're right.
like,
He hasn't tried this century. Let's
Yeah.
be fair.
Yeah. yeah. So he's given up recently.
Yeah.
He had
Most of these efforts were in the 1800s. So
Yeah.
whatever.
But he's like,
Uh,
I was wrong. We don't know what he did, but he did something.
Oh, also, here's these non sequitur lines really stick out to me and bug me so much. Like, so when Faith is like, oh, like he has the capacity for hate or whatever, Mac's response to her, he says, "Fine, go home, Faith. Take care of what's important." And I'm like, what are you talking about? What is important?
That makes no sense.
I don't know what you're saying.
Is the hate important?
But it's hate about Mac, so she's in the right place, right? Like,
Yeah, right.
I don't
It's
know.
in front of Mac hating
Yeah,
him.
dish it out, baby.
Yeah.
Is he like, yeah, you go hate. You fine. That's
Yeah,
what you want.
right. it's so strange. These lines don't make any sense. Okay, so that's pretty much the scene, right?
Yeah.
And then we
It's
get this
very
like
fashionable and cool.
it is very fashionable and cool. So then they there's this like montage of them like walking around the city, or like it's like Duncan is like laying in bed in a hotel. She's walking around. In the rough cut, there's much more like Christmas footage. I don't know if you guys check that
Yeah,
out.
because
Like,
this is a Christmas movie.
well, that's the thing. It's like we'll talk about that kind of at the end, but like I think it is important to note that like there intentionally were Christmas things in this movie. Like that's part of it for some reason. And in the rough cut, they got a lot more of those Christmas shots. So she rolls
Merry
into
Christmas.
like this church place, right? That's the last place we see her going into.
Yeah, and I was like, where does she live?
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. So this is like these scenes are all different, I guess, in the rough cut and all that stuff.
This is definitely all reordered and re-put together
Oh yeah.
in very strange ways.
But the way this reveal is fucking incredible. This is like the greatest way to be like, where's Kell? Right here. This is not a joke. This is mind-blowing.
Ooh, sewing machines.
Subtle buzz. Hey!
Like, what are you talking about?
Right. And this
Are you
feels
crazy.
this scene feels like it should happen 2 scenes from now. Like this
Mhm.
feels like it's been reordered to be in this way.
Right. This is supposed to happen after the love scene, right? You're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. She is returning home from having just been with Duncan, for sure.
Right.
Right.
But in this
Would make
version, it
sense.
happens first for some reason.
I don't know why they
Yep.
edited it this way. This is rough.
I hate this scene.
Yeah, I don't. Should we play this scene? This is like, there's a lot to. Man, I do hate this scene too. All right, Kyle,
But-
we're gonna play it because we hate it so much.
Yeah, let's
Because
do it.
there's a lot of like bad stuff to talk about here, and I
Mhm.
think we should and point it out. So here we go.
You were with him. A woman is a temple built on a sewer.
Stop.
Can we just pause for 1
Stop.
second?
Stop. Go on, Kyle.
Well, I'm not going to say the obvious thing, which is that's obviously hella sexist. But I'll just point out, aren't all temples built over sewers?
I guess everything's built over a
All
sewer.
churches have indoor plumbing, which necessitates that they be positioned over sewers. So, like, this analogy is fundamentally flawed.
Sure.
Was that not the thing that you have a problem with?
Oh my god. This movie, I don't know if this is
Where
better or
does
worse
this
than
come
other
from?
films.
Yeah.
An hour and 3 minutes it takes this movie to get into hardcore Highlander misogyny. And here it is, like the hallmark of every Highlander movie is some bullshit like this. And I don't get it. It doesn't need to be here, and it's trash that it is. So fuck
Nope.
this scene, right?
Yep.
Mhm. I agree.
You were a whore.
Okay. Also, let's listen to a little more here.
Remember what you were when I first found you?
What?
A whore. Now look at you. A liberated whore.
Fuck you.
Oh, we'll get to that, Blossom.
This is disgusting.
But in the interim, be grateful I don't take your pretty little face off.
This is fucking crazy.
Hurts, doesn't it? That there's something you actually can't have.
I can have anything I want.
Except me.
I've already had you.
Fucking crazy. Ugh.
Really.
Not really. Cool.
What?
That's that classic
got him.
not really burn.
Yeah. Goes. Also, this
This-
scene's
thi-
like way too much longer than it needs to be.
It's like what do we get out of the scene besides what I'm
Yeah.
about to show you next, because it's my favorite part that they decide to commit to film.
Jacob Kell.
Jacob Kell. And then this scene ends with this, by the way. This is on film.
I love this.
Is
Ew.
Gloved.
what the fuck? Stop it, movie. Stop it.
Did they get that from Spinal Tap? Smell the glove.
Smell the
Smell
glove.
the glove.
This is crazy. All right.
You're a whore.
All right. What do we think about this?
I hate it. It's bad.
hate it.
Yeah, it's
I don't
bad.
get it.
It's
I don't understand why it's in the movie. This doesn't need to be in the movie.
yeah, not at all.
I just don't understand what it purports to be doing. Like, there's what it does and what it's trying to do. I don't even know what it's trying to do.
So is it like trying to be like she owes Kell because like he saved her from being a whore?
I guess.
And like, how long have they been rolling together? Like, what? What happened to
Yeah.
her? I mean, yikes.
Yeah, like we don't actually see anything related to them, and there doesn't appear to be any warmth between the two of them.
No.
No.
He
It's
just like
really
is
weird.
like, well, I peed on you, so you belong to me. So
Yeah.
like that appears to be it.
This is like
And-
a weird movie trope though, like the "when I found you" line. You were
Oh,
like
yeah.
this
Yeah.
or you were that. You know.
Unemployed in
Yeah.
Greenland.
Yeah.
um,
Inconceivable.
yeah. The other thing that's nuts about this is they reorder this so that all she has done to this point is have a conversation with Duncan MacLeod. They had
Right.
a conversation in which she was like, I fucking hate you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
You've
that
been with
is-
him.
Yeah, like that is her betrayal at this point. Is she sees this guy and is like, I hate your guts. Like it's baffling even in context.
What do you think they did it for? Do you think they wanted her motivation to sleep with Duncan, spoiler, that's about to happen, to be like that Kell was horrible to her? And so
Yeah.
she's like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to go like hate fuck my ex.
Yeah,
I guess.
Like that does change the motivation a bit, having it here, right?
it does.
But I don't think that's for the better either. Like, really?
Yeah.
I don't
just-
like it.
Also, this is a character who none of this matters. This character goes on to show no agency or anything like
Yeah.
that as a result of this interaction or the interactions to follow. Like
Right.
it spurs no action. It causes no change. It's all just very odd.
So I'd like to, this is like a point in the movie where there are, I think, a lot of changes that happened, right? So there's it's not an alternate take of this scene. It's just an alternate scene that's like not in the movie. I shouldn't say alternate scene. It's a scene they decided to cut that presumably maybe went here, I think. So Kell and Kate have this whole conversation. And I think it's important because I know I've mentioned, I think there's some interesting symbolism they were going for in this film. So this scene is important to that symbolism. But we'll talk about that more later. So here we go. There's Kate going home,
So we're at the church.
right?
Take me to church.
And Kell's there.
How did your shoot go?
I take it you were a success as usual.
Slayed him.
What's the matter?
Nothing, I'm just tired. Not tonight, Jacob.
Come
Ew,
here.
it's so cold.
Yeah.
Look how slowly. Oh my God. Wow. It's like a processional.
I thought you could use a little perspective, a little clarity.
So what are you gonna do when you've finished creating this temple?
You tell me.
Knowing you? When it's full, build another. When's it gonna stop?
It doesn't stop.
Aren't you after the prize? There can be only one.
What fun would that be? I choose when the game's over, Faith. Why do you think I've taken all these lives? I choose who's to live and who's to die. Connor will live, for now. Life is a revolving door, Faith. You can't go backwards, only forwards. And this is least. When you kill an immortal, you digest someone's soul.
What?
Their very core, their live essence. Those that can
Your face go.
do.
I just
Those
don't
that can't.
understand why this is all happening.
judge. War is raw. Do you know what live is backwards?
Live would be evil. But lived would be.
What?
Wow.
All right.
So he teleports at the end.
Is he the devil?
Oh yeah, live backwards is evil, but lived is what is that? Huh?
It's so bizarre. And also he's building that temple and he's trying to fill it
Yeah.
with what? For
All right,
whom?
so maybe we should mention now, like this is a whole thing that was like cut out of the original, and that like Jacob is like still on a mission from God to erect like insane religious megachurches like around. And
Like
I
a
don't know,
Joel Osteen type.
it's like he is like a Joel Osteen type.
The other thing that we didn't mention
Kyle.
is that like he has 661 kills.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there.
And then
After
like
the supper.
when he gets all the kills, it adds up to 666. Oh, the devil. And they just dropped that plot line.
Yep. So
from
there's
the
stuff.
movie.
It's all like here. It's so strange. So the way this was ordered,
I didn't
in
even
the-
notice that. That's
the way they ordered this in the rough cut is after this, then we get the transition to the flashback where we see Kate getting. Oh no! After here, this is when we find out that Mac meets Kate on the road or whatever. That's the flashback. It gets put all the way here, which is crazy.
wow, that waits a while.
Yeah, but the transition they do out of the flashback is one of my favorite things in the rough cut. So I'm going to play these few seconds because it is hysterical. Here we go. So here we go. Kate's riding away.
Oh boy. Also, the smile
Oh.
she's giving is like she's in a hostage situation.
Right?
And someone was like, smile for the camera.
Like a funny, someone told a terrible joke. I probably told a terrible joke. And that's the face I would get.
That's
yikes.
amazing.
Okay. I'm smiling. Please don't
Highlander.
hurt me.
Okay, so now what happens? Now we're really into the meat of it if we know what we're talking about here, right? Oh yeah, baby.
Hey,
Kate.
yo-wee.
Kate sneaks
So-
into Duncan's room. Does he get the buzz?
No,
and Mac is like sleeping on a futon with his shirt. We're wearing like a dress shirt that's open.
Mac's relationship with shirts. I didn't mention this earlier. When Joe and Mythos break him out of the new sanctuary, the very first thing he does is button his shirt up to the top. And it's like you were like chained on a metal gurney for who knows how long. And you're like, you know, it'd be more comfortable now to like really restrict this.
Also, isn't that a fashion faux pas, buttoning your...
I'm always going on about this. People do it, and people did it then. It's
It
even
was a
more
style,
popular.
man.
It's even more popular now, I feel like.
No
In-
way.
In many circles.
Interesting.
I
Mm.
hate it.
Wow, look at that.
I don't
All right.
like it. My neck's too fat.
Okay. All right, so Mac then like picks up his katana on the ground, and then when he realizes it's Kate, he puts it down, but they don't film him putting it down. It's like the footage is reversed of him like picking it up. and
I
it
didn't
goes
notice
down.
that.
Yeah, it's so good. So I like the way this is like intercut, kind of suppose. So we're gonna get
Mhm.
2 sex scenes. This is the steamy, the extra
Two for
steamy
the price.
scenes.
2 for the price of 1.
That's right.
And this is really the only time they do this in this movie, where they like really blend present and past, which I
Right.
think is like as a mechanism, I think is generally pretty effective.
Yeah. And what was also interesting is because this is an intimate sex scene, they built, you know, it's like a closed set, but they built these 2 sets together, which I think was kind of cool. And
That's
so
smart.
in the rough cut, they actually there's some different pans because they'll like be filming
Like a cast iron, a skillet.
a skillet, right? A nice nonstick thing for eggs.
Yeah.
But they'll be filming like maybe body doubles, for instance, in the hotel, and then the camera will just pan over and it'll be the 1700s with Mac and Kate. But there's like no split in it, like because it's actually the same room. That's kind of cool. But all
That
that
is
edit,
cool.
all that work they did to build them together is all thrown out the window because they don't edit it that way. In the
That's unfortunate.
yeah. So let's talk about what they get. What do they do? What's happening?
So they're doing it, and then in the flashback, Duncan is going to kill his wife.
That's right. So they get down to business, and then she falls asleep, and he takes like a knife. Whoa, this is crazy, and he just like shoves it in her heart.
Just stabs her right in the heart, which is legitimately shocking, honestly.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I mean, we've
I-
talked about this on the
I
show.
actually-
You can't have a conversation about this. Why?
Yeah, well, I guess they have a whole conversation with Connor that, like, if you told her, she wouldn't believe you, blah, blah, blah. Which is, like,
Right.
weird because, like, they've both obviously had this conversation with people before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe not the conversation of, I'm going to kill you now.
Right.
But
This is just crazy. Just to stab someone in their sleep. My
Yeah.
God. But hold on. I
I
don't
do
want to go
actually-
past the sex part, guys. We got to talk about this is nuts. I mean, hold on, right? Like
Is it?
this is
How
so
nuts is it?
graphic. This is so graphic, guys. Like this, you can see like up her butthole. Like it is.
I'm sorry, what?
This is why is this in this movie? This is nuts. There's no
This
need
is
To
the
titillate
extra-
people,
this is-
to
obviously.
titillate people.
This is the extra.
How
steamy
titillated were you?
scenes. Oh, I was like whatever the opposite of that is.
See, it's not working. See, if you go too far, it's just too much, and you become creeped
Yeah.
out, right?
I mean, I presume everyone on this Zoom call has witnessed pornography.
But that's pornography, not a Highlander movie.
Yeah, and before the prevalence of certain websites, like that was more rare. Like there
This
was
is
much
true.
more of a blending between these two things.
That is very true.
Highlander 3, the sexiest movie of whatever.
It had to
year
outdo
that
it, right?
was.
It sets
Yeah.
this Highlander's setting the bar every time it releases a movie.
I don't know. Like I don't want to like I didn't find any like I agree it's like fairly graphic. Is it more graphic than like the Brenda nipple suck? Not really.
But I don't think that necessarily needs to be there either.
Maybe it doesn't, but like this is not categorically different from other things we've seen from this franchise.
Oh, it isn't. No, there's plenty. All right, Kyle, what of your favorite franchises, which one do you think would be better by including like a full-on buns out, like grinding sex scene?
A
Star
full-on-
Wars.
Yeah, we gotta get some Padme action. I don't know.
See, this shouldn't be in the movie. If we're gonna criticize other dumb lines for being in the movie, this gets thrown out.
Yeah.
Throw it out, but it's very sexy.
Very sexy. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the love scene. It's like, but like, this is like we've talked about the shortcut thing before. Like, I think in our very last episode of the series, we wondered why they had Duncan and Amanda have sex, and we thought that might have been a shortcut to remind us that, like, no, they've got a thing together. Like, to me, this is trying to do heavy lifting, being like, see, there's a connection. It's like, no, like character development would be preferable to this, not like just throw them in a room and make them have sex. Like, and also this can be accomplished just with kissing or whatever. Like, it doesn't need to be what it is. And it's like, it feels cheap, and I'll say it, exploitative of the actress, I feel. So
Yeah. Well,
Sure.
instead, in the rough cut, Duncan just gives her a promise ring, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens here.
very good.
The like they never tell us how like Connor and Heather met, right? That's never been established.
No.
No.
So it's like, how did it work for you, Connor? Maybe.
Yeah. And how did they have sex?
yeah. And how did they- yeah.
Right. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Don't just tell me about it.
Like maybe Connor could help a little more in the breaking the news department than just like, well, she wouldn't believe you, so you might as well not try.
Right.
And you should murder her.
Right.
Like, I do like this decision just in the sense that it's such an obvious blunder.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Duncan realizes it as soon as he does it. Like, I think all of that is fairly effective. Like, it's a big mistake. I like that it gives her a very good reason to be very upset with him.
Yeah.
Like, that's not to say that he doesn't have like there's some facially plausible reasons for doing it, but it's like a clearly bad decision.
Right.
So, you know, that's the seeds of good storytelling, right?
Sure.
A villain with good reason to hate your hero.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Also,
it's like a pretty harrowing scene. Like,
Yeah, it is pretty harrowing.
Yeah, I like some of the. I like when Duncan's like recoiled in the corner and he has like blood all over his hands. He's like, "What have I done?" Like that all feels right to me. That he
Yeah.
perhaps would even have that reaction. Right? That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all pretty effective.
I noticed the time codes. I just want to point this out on the sex scene. This sex scene goes from 1 minute, 1 hour 5 and 18 seconds to 1:7:18. So it's like 2 entire minutes of this film are dedicated to just like buns and tits and stuff. That is 2% of the movie. 2% of
Wow.
Highlander Endgame is dedicated to like nipples and like grinding. So I don't
Aiden's
know.
favorite 2% of the movie. Also his favorite
true.
kind of milk.
It's my favorite
That's right.
2% of Highlander Endgame, and that's what I pour on my Wheaties.
Yep. It all comes together.
And I have my box of Wheaties with Duncan MacLeod on the box.
right.
I'd eat those Wheaties.
So after they have this encounter, Kate is like, she kind of storms out of Mac's hotel. And this was the
Mhm.
clip at the top of the episode. She's like, I came back here just because I wanted to like, it's very emo. Like
See if
I
I could
wanted to see if you
feel.
could just feel anything. And it's like, okay,
Keith,
I guess.
I just noticed that you are basically camouflaged with your sofa right now.
Oh yeah, I am.
Because of your sweater.
Yeah.
It's like you've green screened yourself into this viewing.
Mhm.
But second, it is a little funny that like she recoils and wakes up and storms off at the end of that flashback as though she's the one having the flashback,
Mhm.
Oh, interesting. Right.
which I just thought was like, oh, huh. Like
Yeah.
whose memories are we seeing? Like in context, I think we're supposed to think it's hers
Oh, how about
in
that?
this instance because it directly translates into her next action.
I really like, there's a good bit of editing here too, where like Duncan runs his hand like down her chest and gets to like where her heart was. And
Yeah.
that's like a beat to switch or whatever. And it's like, oh, that like triggers like, oh, that's where you stab me. I think that's like good storytelling. That's
Yeah.
solid.
That's a good edit.
Right. And so how about we end this off with playing the clip at the very end where Duncan, I guess, sees her off the elevator, right? And
Mhm.
now I guess we get to see some differences between Connor and Duncan, right? Like there's at
Yeah,
least
which-
like a glimmer of philosophy here.
Yes, which is weird because Duncan calls it out.
right, yes. There we go.
You're missing the point, Kate. The difference between Connor and I is that as long as you're still alive, there's a chance that one day I might be forgiven. It may take years. Centuries even. But at least I can carry that hope inside me. That's one blessing of immortality. There's always tomorrow. Even for us.
All right.
Hmm.
There we go.
And I guess she's supposed to have finally felt something there at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? Maybe.
Maybe.
Sounds like Mac should have this conversation with Connor as well.
Yes. Like
Yeah.
it's weird that this posits some dispute over this has already taken place.
Right.
That like we're supposed to understand that Connor is truly hopeless as part of this. But like that conversation hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So
And that's it.
yeah. So before we get too much further, are we playing a game?
Let's play a game.
Game time.
All right, guys, we are going to play another round of trivia from the Highlander Endgame Producers Cut DVD. So, you guys ready?
Yeah. Are there
Ready.
different clips this time, or are we just sticking to the trivia?
It is just the trivia. And so don't be surprised if some of these questions were from the first round. They've included them in the second round as well. So the way this is going to work
Cool.
is, I know, right? So really get on your buzzers for that one. So anyway, the way this is going to work is I'm going to read the question and 3 multiple choice answers. When I'm done reading, you can buzz in using your name. I don't want to hear there should be no flim-flammery or anything with these games. These rules
Joe Biden.
should be respected.
Malarkey.
Anyway, and you get 2 points for a correct answer. If you get it wrong, your opponent gets to steal for 1 point. Are you guys ready to play?
I'm ready.
Yep.
End
All
game.
right. End game. Here we go. So this is going to be level 2 trivia. You know it's going to be hard. I don't know. Some of it will be. What was Connor's wife's name in 1555?
So I keep forgetting. Sorry.
Heather, you already called out of turn. You lose. A, Heather. B, Kate. C, Clan. Eamon,
Kyle.
it goes to Eamon.
Heather.
A, Heather.
Good
How about
job.
that?
I like
Nice
that they
job.
just reversed the order of the question.
Oh, you're right. They did to trick you. Great job.
Plan.
Great job following the rules as well, Eamon. Maybe
Oh,
a bonus
thank you,
point will be in store for you later. Here we go. Next one. What does Connor's wife beg him not to do in 1555? A, go back to Glenfinnan. B, kill Jacob Kell. Or C, sell the forge. Kyle.
Go back to Glenfinnan. Also, like, who are these trivia questions for? Just someone who never saw the movie?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Don't sell the forge.
Right?
Yeah.
I have to.
Connor was in the sanctuary for how long? A, 3 years. B, 10 years. C, 7 years.
Amen.
Eamon.
10 years.
That's correct for 2 points.
Oh.
Question the fourth. What does Connor say to Duncan as he asks Duncan to kill him?
God damn it.
A, there can be only one. B, one of us must die. C, I have no reason to live. Eamon.
B, one of us must die.
That is correct. B.
Oh,
Another great job following the rules. Eamon.
I love the rules.
I love it. I love that you love it. What clan do Duncan and Connor belong to?
You kidding me?
A, McDonough.
McDonough.
Wait, how do you say that?
McDonough.
Yeah, Donough. B-
McDonough.
I'm so sorry. I'm an idiot. B, McLean, Mr. McLean, and C, McLeod.
Amen.
Eamon.
C. McLeod.
Great job.
What if I got it wrong?
Like,
John
is this
McClane.
supposed to be harder than the first one?
I think it is. Here we go. Where were Duncan and Connor born? A, Glen.
This has been answered in this trivia.
Glenfinnan. C, Scottish Highlands. Kyle.
Glenfinnan.
Ew.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It is C, Scottish Highlands. Oh, I'm
What?
sorry. I didn't give you a chance to steal it. Sorry, Eamon, but
Too late.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. I got that one wrong when I was doing writing these answers down as well. I was like, wait a minute. And nope, they consider the answer C. Sorry.
That's so
Wow.
dumb.
It is so dumb. Question the seventh. Name the actor who played Connor's mentor. A, Sean Connery. B, Jeremy Northam. And C, Adrian Paul.
Amen.
Eamon.
Sean Connery.
That's correct.
It's weird that this is the first question that isn't answered in this film.
Yeah.
I guess so, right?
Yeah, you just need to see in the original movie. But
All right. Number 8. What was Connor McLeod's alias in 1986? A, Todd Murphy. B, John Landis. And
John
C,
Landis.
Russell Nash.
Kyle,
Kyle.
Russell Nash.
That's correct.
John
All right. You are now
Landis.
if we were playing the DVD thing, a video would come on and be like, you are now halfway there, Highlander. So here we
Ooh.
go. What does Mythos say to Duncan as he enters the graveyard? A, good luck, friend. B, don't be a fool. Let's get out of here. And C, did I mention about this all coming to a bad end?
Kyle,
Kyle.
it's C.
It is C. Great job.
I don't remember that.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, just kind of.
that's why you didn't get it right.
Yep.
Also, you didn't remember that very memorable line?
Yeah. From that character that's going to show up in the movie again. Why does Connor force Duncan to fight with him? A, there can be only one. B, Duncan needs Connor's life force to fight Kell. And C, Connor doesn't want to live anymore.
Amen.
Eamon.
B.
B, you're correct. The life force.
Also,
The life.
C is like also
Sort of
correct.
true.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Also, A is true,
Yep.
technically.
All three of these are true.
All right. What does Duncan do on his wedding night that changes his life forever? A, he lies to Kate. B, he kills his wife. And C, he becomes immortal. Kyle.
He kills his wife. It's also worth noting that the way this is worded applies that his wife is not Kate, but
Yeah, right. Okay.
Also, the top two are kind of true in a way, right?
Yep. Who does Duncan go to see about his nightmares? A, Dawson. B, Ramirez. C, Mythos.
Amen.
Eamon.
C. Mythos.
That is correct.
C. Mythos.
C, Mythos. All right, this is the final four. Can you guys defeat Jacob Kell? We'll see.
I hope so.
Who is the oldest living immortal? A, Mythos. B, Connor McLeod. And C, Jacob Kell.
Amen.
Amen.
A. Mythos.
That is correct.
good work.
Thank you, sir.
You don't learn that in the movie either, by the way. You learn that he is 5,000 years old, but that's it. Moving on. What does Duncan say about that Connor taught him about life? A, that in time everything can be forgiven. B, that there can be only one. And C, that Kell could not be beaten by one immortal alone.
Got
Kyle,
that in time, everything can be forgiven.
you are correct. Wonderful.
Everything.
All right. Get ready for these. What business was Connor in before antiques? A, orange juice. B,
What?
clothing. And C, furniture.
I'm sorry, what?
Amen.
Is-
Eamon.
Clothing?
I am sorry, that is not correct. Kyle for the steal, 1 point.
Furniture?
That is incorrect. It is A, orange juice. I don't understand. I don't remember.
What is the origin of this answer?
What are the oranges? Excuse
Yeah,
What?
that is the question.
Was this said?
I don't know. I don't remember where this comes from or what. Oranges.
Hot deals.
Yeah, I had to play this whole fucking game again, and it takes forever with
Do
all
we
the
have
little.
to play this whole game again?
Here we go. Oh, I'm sorry, Kyle. All right, and the final question is: what pattern is on Connor's boxers? A, paisleys. B, polka dots. Or C, stripes.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
Amen.
Amen.
Paisleys.
I am sorry, Kyle for the
Ah.
steal.
I'm gonna guess stripes.
Also wrong. B,
It's
polka dots. Polka dots.
When do we see his underwear?
So this is strangely, I guess you can see it, I think. But this is like trivia for the DVD. In the special features, they reveal when Connor's knocked back, when his like mother's cross or whatever comes
Mhm.
down, that like when he falls, his like kilt goes up and you can see his underwear.
Oh,
How about that?
I totally missed that.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
There we go. So Eamon, you win with a total of 16 points, and Kyle, you had
Oh
10.
my goodness.
Congratulations,
work.
Eamon.
Thank you. So next time we'll
I just Googled Connor McLeod orange juice with a mandatory, it must include orange juice. And I cannot find a single reference to this.
Interesting. Well,
did we miss something?
or did I
is
play
this-
it wrong? I thought I clicked orange juice. That was like the last one I
Wow.
picked, because why would I think orange juice?
Orange juice. A garage.
That's right. Wow. Great job, everybody. So that brings us to
Wow.
the end of episode 7. Kyle, I think you got almost dead on our
I did
catalog
get
game.
dead
So
on.
what's your take on things thus far?
Well,
Help us
at
wrap
least
up.
things are hurtling toward a conclusion like very fast. Like if you look at how this is a very short movie, and if you look at how much like this movie is not have much time left, we are hurtling towards the end. But I like that we get like some more character stuff with Duncan finally. He really hasn't done much in the movie up to now, and at least at this point, he's the one driving the action. So that's a plus. One thing I don't think we talked about that much is there is a little bit of discussion about the killing of Jacob Kell's father does take place in that graveyard, very subtly. The game is actually what reminded me of that.
Oh, okay.
That a little bit of that dialogue does take place in the graveyard, where like they seem to be laying a little bit of foundation of conflict between the two of them, where Connor's like, "Is that true?" Or Duncan's like, "Is that true? Did you kill an unarmed man?" Or whatever.
Right.
And I guess that's good. Like a conflict between our heroes is good fodder. Will it matter? No, but like
Yeah.
that's dramatic stakes.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned, Kyle, that like, oh, we learned a bit more about Duncan, and I didn't really think about that, but like, have we learned anything about Duncan up until like just this episode? Like,
He does Tai Chi.
Yeah.
I guess it, like, I mean, like, if you didn't know who Duncan was, how would if you talk to somebody like, hey, tell me about the character of Duncan MacLeod, what would they be able to tell you based on this movie? Like, hardly anything, right?
Nothing.
Yeah.
He's
Not
a
a,
goofball.
not a goddamn thing.
He's a goofball in that one flashback where he takes the money.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
As
I don't
much
know.
like-
It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we don't really learn too much about Duncan. Like the movie relies a lot on the audience bringing the series with them.
Yes.
So, because he just seems like a pawn and all. Like he's just from scene to scene, like there. Like I don't know what he's doing.
the Queen's Gambit.
Mhm.
This is me holding pawns.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
All right.
Yeah, I don't-
Interesting.
We get some buns.
That, man, I can't even get over it. Like, did we I mean, like, you also
Well,
see
Keith, I know you
Duncan's
can't
butt,
get
too.
over it because your anaconda don't want none unless she got buns,
Bun.
hun.
Yeah, like, there is just Adrian's butt, just like, it's crazy how much nudity is in this movie.
It's butts. That barely counts.
I'm not trying to be prude about this. Like, it's not about that. It's just like, what is this doing? Like, it doesn't need to be here.
It's steamy, baby.
That's what I mean. This is like steamy Cinemax nonsense from the late 90s, right? Like, I don't know.
It's
You know, I'm curious.
Dad'll
if-
watch this
I'm-
when all the kids have gone to bed and like,
Or
yeah.
I have a counter theory on that. Is it about her or is it about Adrian? Is it
Ooh.
about his buns? Is
oh, I
that
mean,
who
I think
this
that's
is-
why they're there. I mean,
that who this is for.
we get both buns. Both buns there's 4 buns. Are they 4 buns? How do you count them? Are they paired? Do
Yeah,
we see 2 buns or 4
4
buns?
buns.
4 buns.
4 buns. Okay. I mean, I agree.
So this is to get
there's
the
stuff for
ladies. the
Yeah,
ladies
right.
in.
Like I think this sex scene, if I deposit who they did this for, is it for random men who want to see this random pop star that nobody's heard of but her butt? Or is it like all the horny ladies of Highlander, do they want to see
The
a
horny-
piece butt?
I think both can be true. Both are true.
It's number
Both.
2. I
No,
think.
it's both.
They're
both.
like, we can finally unleash.
The
then
horny
why did they
ladies
include
of
then why did
buns.
they include all the boobies and stuff? Like they would have just cut that. They'd be like, this is just about showing off Adrian's ripped fucking core and his grinding booty and like
his ripped fucking core
I
Yeah.
don't know.
and the horny ladies of Highlander.
Can that be a shirt?
Yikes.
It should be.
Oh, I will say, like, I remember watching this in like, I guess I must have been in middle school when this came out, like maybe 8th grade. Like, I watched this with my family. Like, we had to watch this together. Like, nah, that's not fun. Like, that was very uncomfortable.
Or is this just a scathing indictment of our puritanical society? That we're like, oh my God, these butts, burn it to the ground.
I don't know.
I saw The Matrix 2 with my mom in theaters, and that like giant
yeah.
orgy scene. I was sweating. I was so uncomfortable. It was
Amazing.
awesome. Awful.
It
Not
was
awesome.
awesome. That's your thing.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
It's
good.
like a Ted Cruz like tweet like.
Fair
Very
enough.
good. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us now through 7 episodes. How many more do you think at this point we're gonna have?
That's a good
2?
question.
Kyle says
I think-
2.
I think we
Yeah.
can knock it out in 2. Which,
All right.
if you don't count the trailer episode, we'll make it one longer.
We
than
are
our
counting the
original.
trailer episode. Let's not futz around with the rule. The rules are not made to
The
be broken.
rules.
It's episode
See,
1, Highlander
but we-
Endgame trailer reaction. Episode
Yeah,
1.
but we didn't do a trailer reaction for the first movie, which we could have.
There was
which
no need to do a
similar-
trailer reaction for the first one.
I don't know
Kyle's-
if that's true.
Kyle's the Jacob Kell of
Our
this.
format has evolved. It
Yeah, it's
includes a
true.
trailer reaction now. Anyway,
It
sorry,
includes-
this is what we're upset about, like the cataloging of the show. Look, guys, it couldn't go. It couldn't be bonus episode 6 - whatever. Let's get into
Yeah, that's true.
the nitty gritty here. Like, that's it. All right.
We've been your
That's right. We'll join us next week. Make sure to write us at highlanderrewatch@gmail.com if you've got any questions, comments, or thoughts you'd like to share. And make sure to head on over to iTunes and leave us a review if you like what we're doing. I haven't said if we like what we're doing. And the answer is no, I don't. But whatever. We plug on. I'm just kidding, everyone. We've been your Rewatchers. I'm Keith.
This is Kyle.
This is Eamon.
Bye.
Bye.